Hello!
Hello!
It's us,
It is.
ready for the start of Advent. Ready to do our calendars.
Yeah. So what are we going to do today, Matt?
Today we are decorating our boxes. We're going to walk you through making a store-bought box look a bit nicer, a bit more in character.
These are the boxes that we will be filling over Advent.
Yeah.
They're pretty standard. They cost about a whole £1, I believe.
They are sort of generic wooden display or keepsake boxes that you can get from any good internet box shop.
Where did you get these ones from?
I don't know.
You should put a link in the description.
I'm going to do a simple wood stain on mine to darken it down, and I'm going to age it a little bit with some sandpaper.
And mine's going to be fancy as all heck.
So yeah, let's get to it, shall we?
Sure.
So I've got some generic wood stain that you can get from any hardware or DIY shop. I think mine came from Wix. I think it's a solvent-based one, so I've cleaned my brushes with white or clean spirit, and I'm just going to apply it all over the box.
And I'm going to do basically exactly the same thing, but the ratchet version.
The ratchet version?
Yeah, I'm not doing any of this fancy solvent staining stuff. Just good old... Where did that come from? I believe that came from the works. It might have come from somewhere else. Good old acrylic paint stain.
So are you painting your whole box, or...?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just making my paint a bit more watery so it can... it will flow better. I feel like these are going to be like episodes of Smart and Art Attack. You used to watch Smart, didn't you?
I did used to watch Smart.
I was a proper Art Attack nerd.
With Neil Buchanan.
All hail the Neil.
Who,
yes.
For a time, people thought was Banksy.
I mean, have you ever seen Neil Buchanan and Banksy in the same room together?
Very true. No, I have not.
Exactly.
So I'm applying my wood stain very liberally because I'm going to wipe off the excess. Because you end up with brush marks, regardless of how, if you put it on thinly, you'll still kind of get your brush marks. So it's better to just put on a lot. Well, not too much, you don't want to be wasteful, but put on more than you need and then wipe it off.
Whereas I'm just going to brush out my brush marks. This is something you can do with acrylic paint. And massage it into the wood a bit. And blend. And we're blending. And we're blending. Look at that. Yeah, see? Precision there. You see that? Look at that. That's so much better. Now this is what you want.
Obviously, if you're not me and you're doing this well, you should probably wear some gloves and not get your fingers messy. I tend to touch my face a lot, so I usually get stuff everywhere. But that is the colour that we are going for. It's just a nice darker wood than it was originally, and it tends to also bring out the grain as well. Because it will dye bits of the wood a different colour. And, in fact, I've now found out I've been a bit too liberal with the stain. I've had to wipe a lot more off than I was expecting. So, don't quite follow me exactly. Use your own common sense where needed. this obviously is one. You'll get one video today. However, as of tomorrow, we're going to be filming each box individually because me and Andy are making separate things, unless one of the things, like the paper making, is a joint project. So you can either choose to follow both of us or one of us, depending on how much free time you've got. And I understand that people don't want to watch hours and hours of videos every day. So I am making, as mentioned before, I'm making an Explorers pack, so it's going to have things in it that would be useful for your bog standard adventurer. And Andy,
yeah, sorry, that was a cue, wasn't it?
that was a cue.
Yeah. I'm going to make no, I'm not. I'm going to make a scholarly box. I was originally going to make a wizard box and like put like potions and stuff in there, but then we were sort of thinking, oh, we need something a bit more generic. So I thought, what do LARPers like to do? They like to write each other letters. You know, I can't see any situation in which someone won't get use out of a like writer's kit. So it's mine's based on the Scholar and Diplomat packs from D&D, as I said in a previous video. It's gonna have quills, it's gonna have paper, it's gonna be a good time. I'm gonna make ink. Yeah. It's gonna be good.
Yeah. So,
as well as some cheeky bonus stuff. Kind of dry.
yeah. So when you send us your images to enter, make sure you put in the hashtag.
Oh yes, use the hashtag either Team Andy or Team Matt to tell us which box you want. And ideally, give us your name so that we can call it out and put it into the hat for winning the box. Sorry about that. My apologies. Don't do that with your box. Oh, I'm running out of turdy paint. Something I will say though is when you're like painting, if you're painting your box rather than wood staining it and brushing off, pull your paintbrush towards the edges of the box and get less not splatter, but less like of a build-up on the other faces of the box.
Ah, very clever.
See, I had to dust it a little bit, right? And then, like that. I'm encroaching on your space a bit, aren't I? I'm sorry.
You are. I'm just hoping, like all of our other videos we do, that we are actually in shot.
I think I am leaning out of shot quite a lot to get a bit of eyeball space on this. No one's really that sorry though. Some time has passed, and now this is dry. So now I am going to cover the inside with this. Okay, so I am going to be using this fabric. It's like a sort of cotton upholstery sort of stuff. It's quite thin though, but it's quite hard wearing as well. I think we picked this up for pennies at the what's it called, Matt?
The Dorset Scrap Store.
The Dorset Scrap Store. You can go in, you get a bag, and you can fill it up to the brim with whatever the hell they have to hand, and you pay some money, and then you go. And it's really good. And it's all scrap, material and, you know, overbought stuff that companies give to them, basically to be recycled and to stop it from going to waste. So I'm all about that life, friends. So anyway, I'm going to basically fill this box with this fabric. I'll do the lid first because that's going to be a bit easier. But my plan is to basically wing it a little bit. I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to cut it roughly to size. I am going to wind up cutting it a little bit oversized just to make sure. There we go. I'm going to use the box lid as a sort of template. That there. Just give that a little snip. Can tear it. Oh, with like woven fabric like this, you can generally tear them and you'll get an exact straight edge because it'll follow the lines of the fabric weave. So that's very useful to know. Usually happens with cottons and stuff made out of cotton, not so much jersey knit fabric. But yeah, give it a little snip, give it a little rip. So I'm just going to put that to one side, ideally not all over the flipping wood stain. There we go. And then snip those bits off. And there we go. That is going to lay in there just so. I'm going to give it a glue with my trusty glue stick. Glue gun. Glue gun. Glue gun. Get a little bit of that in the edges there. Now, I know that this sort of seems a little bit obvious, but that glue is hot. So I'm also going to get a lollipop stick. You could use a spoon or basically anything to save your fingers from getting burnt. I'm just going to push the edge of that fabric into the corners there. So there we go. That's the first edge glued in. But hark, I hear you say, Andy, that doesn't look very tidy. I thought you were making a scholar box. I am. We're going to sort the edges out in a bit, and I'll show you how. But first, we must glue the rest. If you're an unfortunate crafter who doesn't happen to have a glue stick, a glue gun, you can use wet glues as well, like PVA. PVA will do it. But you'll probably need to put a whole layer down. And glue guns, they're pretty cheap, you know. Like, if you don't have one, I very much recommend you get one as a crafter. They're just really bloody useful. Right, so there we have the very top of this glued down. It's not going to come off. So now what we need to do is we need to figure out where this edge goes, like that. See, we're going to fold the edge over and we're going to cut these corners. Actually, I think we could probably get away with folding them in, you know, just like that. So, I'm going to suggest that we fold this edge of this fabric in the corner over, like so. It's going to be fiddly, but it's going to be worth it, I promise. And what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to get that edge started to glue down, right? So sparingly, we're going to use the glue gun. Just going to fold that in. So we've got a nice edge all the way to the edge corner bit. Okay. Okay. Sparingly, we want a little dab of glue right on that corner bit there. You don't want to get it, as I've just done, onto the edge of the fabric, because ideally we want to hide that blob. So we get our trusty stick, smear it around a little bit, and then press the edge of the fabric onto the glue. There we go. Like I say, be careful, your fingers are at risk. You're using your fingers. It is hot. Because if it's not hot, it won't stick. See? So we've got like that little corner is basically tacked in. We're going to get the glue gun and we're going to glue along that edge. Cool, I'm going to have to tidy the edges of this up a little bit more than I have.
Yeah.
But
you can do that.
If you've got little splurgy bits, or big splurgy bits, like this, you want a craft knife, and you can cut through the glue. That one was a bit massive. That was a bit harder, but you can cut through the glue, basically. Just don't fucking cut directly towards yourself, that's a stupid idea. And ideally, don't cut the box. Right, for the bottom, we're going to do it a little bit more sensibly. Get the fabric, I'm going to roughly measure out this size. Because what we're going to do is we're going to make a panel, glue it to the bottom, and then glue around the edges. In fact, I might actually do that the other way around, because then I won't need to be careful about the bottom edge. We're going to do the sides, and then we're going to glue a patch down into the bottom. It was kind of okay to do it this way for the top edge, but it was still pain in the patooey to glue it in. So we're going to make it easier for ourselves. We want to find out, get a rough estimation of the size that we want, and then we're going to snip and rip a length to go around the inside. Just how we did this, we're going to glue an edge, we're going to glue around the edge, and then we're going to glue the top edge. So, bottom edge first. Then. So, for the most part, we are done.
Our boxes are done! Hooray! That's day one over. We've
Indeed.
decorated a plain old store-bought box into something a bit nicer. And then something even nicer. Look at that. Very fancy.
Very sexy.
I am making an explorer's box over the next 20-something days, and Andy is making a scholar's box, as
Yep.
the signs say.
As the signs very clearly say.
If you would like to enter to being with a chance of winning either of these boxes, one or the other. You do have to pick, or you can send us 2 pictures. Andy will tell you the
Greedy.
details.
Will I?
Yeah.
I will. You can send us an email to info@armchair-armory.co.uk. Make sure you specify which team you're on and which box you want, and send us a picture of something you've made for LARP or roleplay. And we'll let you know if you have won at the end.
Yeah. Hooray!
Yeah, it's just going to be a name draw, so no biases, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it's nothing at all to do with like the quality of what you make. It's just show us what you're proud of.
Afraid so.
Even better, make something that we are making that you followed along with.
You know why? Because we're proud of you no matter what you've made.
Indeed.
So, creativity should be celebrated on any level.
Yeah. So,
Gosh damn it.
thank you for watching. I hope you tune in over the next 24, 23 days.
Yep.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Have fun.
See you tomorrow.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.